Credit is the lifeline of any MSME or any investor out there. And when you look at even whatever government wants to borrow over 900 billion shillings locally, that would mean that, first of all, the question is, when we borrow locally, is the interest rate higher as compared to when we borrow externally?
It's usually higher. It's usually higher when you borrow locally.
Locally, that means,
and that's why there was a
local debt is expensive.
It's expensive, yes.
It's expensive.
That's why everybody wanted to go to Euro boards and so on, where the interest rate was lower.
Yes. So with that in mind, then we look at a situation where the government wants to expand its tax base, but then again, it is as well borrowing locally that is blocking the expansion of the same. We look at the already existing debt that has not been included, where even IMF today is saying, please go back and fix your books before you come back so that we can talk about the actual debt that does exist. So in terms of funding this budget, right, with everything else that is there and economic experts that have spoken, including the government experts, why is it seemingly difficult to just do what one would say is basic of economics if you want to get more?
Rephrase your question.
Why is it seemingly that the government then, with everything that does exist, does not want to do that which is considered to be basics of economics? Don't borrow locally.
It is all politics. Let me give you a background before I answer your question. If you look at the current budget estimates, we have 4.8 trillion. Only 840 of that money is going to development. Why is the rest of the money going?
Current expenditures.
So if you want to do what you are saying, you need to reduce the recurrent expenditure. That would mean giving counties less money. You know the political consequences. Having less government employees, you know what are the consequences, particularly with 2027 in mind. So I think every person, every politician, every leader knows the correct economics. But politics crowd that. For example, you are saying that local debt is very expensive. Everybody knows that.
Yes.
So what is the alternative to debt? We can borrow.
Yes.
But Kenyans don't want to borrow. So as a politician, you always play safe. And that's why you find a lot of political decisions that do not make economic sense. But they make political sense. And what I'm looking for are politicians who are very bold. They'll say, this does not make political sense. Even if it means me losing presidency or losing my parliamentary seat next year, but I make sure that things in this country are right, I will do that. But we have politicians who are that bold. We don't. So we need to such bold politicians. Now, before I finish, let me go back to a very important question he asked and he addressed, economic growth. One of the ways to make economic growth is to make sure that people are optimistic. They will consume more, they will invest more. But I'm concerned by the level of pessimism in this country. Get into a tax, just get into a tax and get into a conversation with the tax driver. Go to the Komba or the SMEs, informal sector, and talk to those people. They are very pessimistic. Yeah. Talk to the businessmen, they are very, very pessimistic. So I think the government needs, in addition to improving the infrastructure, in addition to making sure that there are less levies and the cost of living goes down, we need to be made more optimistic. But very important, if you want the economy to grow, let the people who can multiply that money get it. The SMEs, small businesses, and business people. Because the government does not do any business. That's what we need to remember. Business, investing, entrepreneurship is by all of us. And those are the people who should be getting money. So when the government now starts competing with SMEs and businesses and industries to get money from banks, we are not doing the right thing. Finally, again, I always remind you, read the economic survey. Because one of the things that surprised me about that economic survey, surprisingly, is the amount of liquidity in banks. Surprisingly. Because people don't want to borrow. Why? The economy is not performing very well. Why should I borrow that money? And that's why optimism is very important. Yeah. Why the economy did so well during Kibaki era is that he never did any magic. He just made us feel good and optimistic about tomorrow. So we borrowed. You remember banks having kiosks on the streets?
Oh, yes, they would come to...
Because we are very optimistic. Yeah. So that is what politicians are supposed to do, make us optimistic about tomorrow. We shall borrow, we shall invest, and the economy will grow.